welcome to another episode of Torrential Tom. I am your host, Torrential Tom. Just going to give a quick update in today's video about tomorrow's storm and then possibly what we have coming our way at the end of the week. So as we always do, we're going to start with our current weather map. This is our big storm system that's going to be moving through our area tonight and tomorrow. And we have our next storm approaching on the northwest. So the impressive thing about the storm coming our way tomorrow is all of Texas, all of Oklahoma, all of Arkansas at some point yesterday were completely under winter storm warnings, the entire states. And more than 3/4 of Louisiana was also under a winter storm warning. Places saw up to a foot of snow, temperatures in the single digits, wind chills below zero. Houston this morning, I believe I saw, had a wind chill of 8 or 10 below zero. So I'm hoping to get a lot of that data together and maybe show you guys later in the week what we saw. That part of the country saw snow totals and cold temperatures that they have not seen in 70 to even 100 years in some areas. So we look at our current watches and warnings in the United States, and we have some severe weather from the storm. We have a tornado watch in the panhandle of Florida, southwestern Georgia, and southeastern Alabama. And then we have patches of areas that are under ice storm warnings, including close to our local area, which I will show on the next slide. And everything in pink is winter storm warnings. Those are the areas that are going to see 5, 8, up to a foot of snow. So, and then you look in the northwest and you can see there's a lot of areas here with avalanche warnings. There's a lot of snow that's fallen there the last couple of weeks. And then we see all the watches and warnings for the next storm system that's going to be moving down into the same region as we saw yesterday with Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. So we go to our local watches and warnings, and you can see closer here, western or northwestern New Jersey under an ice storm warning. Those are areas that tonight into tomorrow could see possibly up to 1/4 of an inch, maybe some places 1/2 inch of ice. And then areas that are going to start as maybe some freezing drizzle, see maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice. More likely would be in this area right in here. And then winter weather advisories continue downward, including Manhattan. Like I said, maybe a glaze of ice, pretty similar to what we had on Saturday night into your Valentine's Day. So we look at our current setup, see the snow, you see the mix, the ice, the sleet in here, and then our line of severe weather is down in here. So we move into midnight on Monday, and you could see some heavier precipitation is heading into our local area. Manhattan, Long Island, eastern Jersey, the coastline, kind of spared of the precipitation at this point. But some frozen, some freezing rain looks like to be in southeastern New York, northwestern New Jersey, basically where you saw those ice storm warnings. And this is mostly because this low pressure is located in western Pennsylvania, so a lot of the precipitation is not really reaching as far as the coast. We now move to your early Tuesday morning, probably around 4 a.m. or so, and you can see most of our local area has already transitioned to all heavy rain at this moment in time. So we won't really see much wintry precipitation with this storm, but with the moderate to heavy rain at times, we could see some decent flooding because of all the snow we've seen the last couple of weeks. The snowpack that we have developed, the rain will melt it. So we're going to have the rain on top of the melting snow could lead to some flooding in our area. If you look closely, you can still see there's some patches in the higher elevations of northwest New Jersey that could still be seeing some freezing rain. So that's why, again, those northwestern counties in Jersey are under those ice storm warnings. Some of the colder air higher, or some of the colder air closer to the surface, will remain in those areas. And then before noontime Tuesday, most of the precipitation's out of here. Maybe a passing drizzle, maybe a flurry, but that's about it. Nothing heavy, nothing moderate to worry about during that period. So now we move on to the end of the week, Thursday evening into Friday. We could see another similar setup to what we're seeing tonight into tomorrow, but some of the models are hinting that this particular storm system could be a little further to the east, which would give us a longer period of frozen precipitation. So we look at our Friday morning vorticity. This is what shows us the spin higher up in the atmosphere where our low pressure systems could be forming. So we have an area down here forming, and there's an area up in here. So we have a low pressure closer to the surface showing down here, and you'll see that in the next map. This one's a closed low up at this level in the atmosphere, and we're going to be watching this closely because the counterclockwise winds will be bringing some warmer air into our area higher up in the atmosphere at this point. So with those winds and then the winds of this closed low creating warmer temperatures at the surface, we could see some mixing. We could see a start of snow going to sleet or freezing rain, and then maybe all rain, but it depends on the location of this low right here. So we move to the surface weather for Friday morning. And as I said, we started as all snow, but that's going to transition to a mix of sleet, freezing rain at some point. But the big question is, where does this low pressure go? So for tomorrow's storm, our low pressure is actually going to be going, I'm going to have one here that's going to be going straight up through the Appalachians. And then you're going to have another low that kind of shoots right through the Manhattan area, and that's why we have warmer temperatures. This particular one, the models are kind of hinting a further eastern track, which could lead to us having colder temperatures for a longer period of time, and we may not switch to all rain. So it's going to be a battle of where this low sets up and the battle of the temperatures at the surface and just above the surface with this upper level low to see what kind of precipitation we're going to have. So I'll have more details about that as we get closer, and we could be looking at something pretty sizable by the end of the week. So in summary, we have a stormy week ahead. We have a rainy Tuesday morning. Most of the precipitation, if not all of it, will be out of our area by noontime Tuesday. We have that wintry finish to the week, and then following that storm, we could be looking at an Arctic blast of air at the end of this coming weekend. So around Sunday, we could see some very cold temperatures trying to break into our area. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at Torrential Tom for updates during some of our more major storms. Follow me on Instagram, Torrential Tom WX. And as always, drop a question in the comment section anything weather related or anything related to a storm that is coming our way or a storm that's in some other part of the country. I will be more than happy to answer. Everybody have a great day. I will be back probably midweek to give you an update on that storm for later in the week.